There's no need to fret. There are like, what, 400 GaMetal songs or something? So it's not out of the realm of possibility that somebody might miss one or two. Even if it's one of the ones they want. What's up, everybody? Welcome to our first Q&A live stream. Well, Q&A/news live stream. Since, like, I think the last time we did this was actually 2020. And then, you know, there was a pandemic and all sorts of things. We did have the non-live Q&A thing. I think that was last year. I think that's what we did last year. But this year, bringing back the live stream. We'll do another non-live one too. They're a lot more tame, I think. The light, I think really red. I don't know why. Do you like my fake dark room? It's actually not real, but it looks a little better than like the. Okay, there we go. Maybe changing colors, whatever. Yeah, it looked a little better than the green. Like it's just like this green screen stuff everywhere. I'm sure you've been able to tell from all of this year's videos that I invested in green screen stuff. But you know, I just threw on a quick dark background just cuz. Hope you all are doing well. I really don't have like a ton of news, really. So that part should be pretty short. Then I can get to all your questions and such, and we'll hang out for probably like an hour and a half or so. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of big news to share with you today. Just more songs are coming, as always. The biggest piece of news, though, is, drumroll please, the 2022 song ballot is going live right now. I just need to go get the link and put it in the description for you, and then it'll be up. So I'm going to put that in the description for you right now, and I will explain what the ballot is for those that aren't familiar in one moment. Okay, description. It's going to be right here at the very top. 2022 GaMetal song ballot. Boom, it should be there. If it's not there, it should show up in a second. If it's not there in a few minutes, let me know, and I'll, I don't know, I'll get mad or something. then maybe it'll go through. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, new to GaMetal, you're probably wondering, what on earth is the song ballot? So, I took inspiration from the song ballot from the Smash ballot that they did. Well, I think they did 2 Smash ballots, one for Wii U and one for Ultimate. So what this is, you just tell me what your most wanted GaMetal remix is, and then after the ballot closes, I tally up everything. Thank you, YDoc, for the 2, I think that's either pounds or euros. I always get them mixed up, but thank you so much. Love you too. Back to the ballot. But tally everything up, look and see what the most requested stuff is, and then I, you know, pick the stuff that I think would be really fun and awesome to do, and yeah, so it's basically, obviously, you're still encouraged to leave comments with your requests and such, but this is a lot more of a structured way to find out what the most requested songs are, because, you know, each video gets hundreds and hundreds of comments, so counting all those up individually would take an eternity. And we usually end up with like 3,000 plus ballot entries, so that's still a lot, but it's still easier to do because I can alphabetize stuff and things like that. Link to the ballot should be in the description. Again, if it's not there, let me know. But I just added it, so it should be on there. Link in the description of this video. I don't know if I can make a card on here. I don't think I've ever done that like live. Let me see. I don't feel like figuring it out right now, but it's there. But I'll also post it in a community post and on Twitter and stuff too. So yes, whatever song you want to hear most. The only real rule is it has to be a song that originates from a game. Preferably no licensed stuff. Like, I know every time I say that, people are like, oh, you did All I Want, but you know, it's trickier to license that kind of stuff. And then, like, record companies could take issue, blah, 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 blah. There is a rule some people have wanted me to mention about composers that aren't fans of people remixing their material. There's only really one of those that has jumped out recently, and that is the and I don't want to go into like too huge of a detail, but the Risk of Rain composer, not a big fan of remixes for whatever reason, so I would suggest not requesting Risk of Rain stuff because it's probably not going to happen, just out of respect for his wishes, because he doesn't want people covering his stuff for whatever reason. I'm sure he has several outstanding reasons that we aren't aware of, but that's just one example. But for 99.9% of composers, they don't mind, if not like actually appreciate people covering their stuff. But that's the ballot. The ballot is open today. It's going to be open till June 30th. So at the end of June, it'll close. Tally everything up. I do want to get more ballot songs done this year than we did last year. We did a good fair share last year, but I would like to do more this year than we did last time. I mean, I can't even tell you a number off the top of my head, but a lot of the stuff has been influenced by the ballot over the years. We've been doing this since 2019, I think is when I first did it. And I think the first song I did that came from ballot request was the Metopia song. I forgot the name off the top of my head. The Dark Lord or whatever. Oh, by the way, Kelsey, thank you for the $5. Good to make one of these for once. Howdy, Johnny. Howdy, GaMetalheads. Shout out to Kelsey. Kelsey has been doing the album artwork that you've been seeing on Spotify, and I'll get to that in a second. But much love to Kelsey. DD Devastating. I know it's DDD and Devastating, but I had to remember, is it 3 Ds or 4 Ds? DD Devastating. Hey, I just want to drop by and say thank you for what you're doing. Your work also inspired me to start playing piano. Awesome. Learning is slow, but I'm having fun. That's what matters. DDD Devastating. And thank you for the 10. Thank you very, very much. Okay. So that's the big bit of news, really, is the song ballot being open. And I'll bring that graphic back in a second. I guess really quick, I want to quickly just kind of mention there is another project in the works. I don't know if I've talked about this publicly. I know I've talked about it on Patreon like several times. But there is another project in the works that I have codenamed Project Peppermint. So, as you know, the project name's always a hint to what could be going on. But that is the next big project in the works. I've been working on this since last year. Not like every day or anything, but it's been like a stop and start sort of thing. Sometimes I work on it, sometimes I don't. It's about halfway finished at the moment, and I'm hoping to have this finished and out before within the next 3 months or so. Hopefully like July. Hopefully July I can at least reveal it. And then July, August I can drop that on you. So it's called Project Peppermint again. Our last projects were Project Dream, which ended up being Dreamland Invasion. Project One, which was the GaMetal self-titled album, which is all the 2009 remakes. What else? Is that the only project? Yeah, I think so. There's probably another one I'm forgetting. So, yes. That is the next big project in the works. There is one. Again, I don't know if I've mentioned it publicly. I might have, and I just forgot. Okay, before I get to your questions, last segment of news. Again, I didn't really have like a lot of huge stuff to share, just the ballot being open finally. I guess I should also touch on the ballot and why I started so late this year. It's actually kind of funny. So I was really wanting to get Big Shot from Deltarune done before I opened the ballot, because so many people were requesting Big Shot that I was like, okay, if I open the ballot now, Big Shot is easily going to be the #1 request, like bar none. It was the most requested song since September or whenever Deltarune Chapter 2 dropped. I was holding off on it, and then like as soon as I actually started working on Big Shot from Deltarune, the new Kirby game comes out, and now everyone's requesting stuff from the new Kirby game, Roar of DDD and the Roche Limit one. So now it's probably there's going to be 2 or 3 songs from that game that are going to be at the top of the ballot. But you know, I couldn't put it off any longer, so that's the story behind that. Anyways, before we get started with Q&A, let me do my quick salesman stuff for you. Dracula Bite shirts. See one here? I think this one is called GaMetal Shreds. And this shirt here, ooh, it's hard to do this, is, actually that one might be GaMetal Shreds. Anyways, they're very awesome. And they're made by Dracula Bite, who makes most of the shirts you've been seeing me wear for like the past, I don't know, what, 2 years now? Go buy some shirts. Don't be surprised if I make like a YouTube short very soon where I advertise some shirts for him, because he made these for us and they look awesome. Shirts are all high quality and very affordable. They're not like a lot of band shirts these days want to be like $30 and stuff. These are all like between like 15 to I think 20 max, if that. So yes, buy a GaMetal shirt. GaMetal merch available. I've actually dropped for the time being the old GaMetal shirts. They have gone off of Teespring. They were all right. I hope you enjoyed them. The ones I got, like, they weren't as high quality as the Dracula Bite. So I'm really pushing these now as the main GaMetal merch source. So go buy some Dracula Bite GaMetal gear. All amazing stuff. And of course, all of his other non-GaMetal designs are like freaking A++ S tier. So that's that. Still going strong on the Patreon. If you want to help support myself and GaMetal in probably the most helpful way possible, Patreon is the way to do it. The only reason I was able to start doing this full-time and really am able to continue doing this full-time is because of the support I received on Patreon. So, if you want to help support me in the best way possible, financially, sorry, but it's just the real deal. Gotta eat, gotta pay bills. But everyone on there, the Patreon community has always been super amazing. Everyone that I've met on there is just so cool. And you get rewards too. I would go through all of them, but if you're interested, I highly suggest reading up on the GaMetal Patreon page. Links in the description of this video and every video, and always posted in like the first card you see on most videos. But yes, please consider becoming a patron. I think we're at 384 patrons right now. I would like to get to 400 soon. That would be awesome. My birthday's coming up, so hint, hint. But yes, that is GaMetal Patreon. Consider becoming a patron. If you already are a patron, thank you. You're outstanding. And if you can't become a patron, you're still outstanding. But I appreciate if you consider it. Okay. This is kind of news. But again, going through all my salesman stuff. Physicals. I don't know if I linked this in the description. I have physicals for all 4 of the albums you see on your screen currently. Dreamland Invasion. Please excuse the discoloration. It's actually the green screen effect. This is yellow. Side Quest 2, Side Quest 3, self-titled GaMetal album. Physicals available for all of these, and I have changed the pricing to $5. It was $3 previously, but if you are in the US, shipping is now completely free. So actually, overall, you're paying $1 less. If you're international, if you're in Canada, I dropped the shipping by $2. And if you're international abroad, I dropped the shipping another $2, so it evens back out. But if you're in the U.S., physicals are now $1 less overall, so it's $5 straight. Shipping is free completely. All these are available on the GaMetal Bandcamp, on the song pages for each one of these. I'm trying to get rid of them because we're actually moving soon. We're moving to a different state. My wife got into grad school. Congratulations to her. She is outstanding. She is amazing. Best wife of all time. You know, only wife I've ever had, but I am 1,000% happy with her being my wife for the rest of all time. So, we're moving to a different state, and I'm trying to get rid of these. Dreamland Invasion especially, I'm running low on these. So, if we could sell out of these soon, that would be awesome. Like I said, I don't know if I put this in the description or not. Let me see. I didn't. Okay. GaMetal Bandcamp. physicals. It's very easy. It's like, what is it? GaMetal.bandcamp.com? Yeah. Okay, that's in the description. You want to help me get rid of these. That would be nice because I have like boxes of them and I need to consolidate a little bit. That is that. And the last thing I'm going to touch on before the Q&A stuff is I just had the Spotify logo, but streaming services. So I've made a pretty big change in streaming services releases this year. I'm sure some of you already been able to tell. Instead of before, we were doing part albums. So I would release 2020 or 2021 part 1, part 2, part 3, and each one would have like 5 to 10 songs from like a quarter of the year or so. This year, however, we've been releasing everything as singles. Most of the artwork you've been seeing, if it's not sprite artwork, which was made by me with sprites made by Discovery, the guy who made the animation for the Project 1 trailer and the sprites that were used in the 6 Reignited trailer, Project Fire trailer. Those are made by me, but the ones that aren't sprites, those were made by Kelsey Peterson, and Kelsey's in the chat, so huge love to Kelsey, everything they've done, because every bit of artwork that Kelsey has done has just been like outstanding. like I basically just give Kelsey like a quick basic description, and I'm like, okay, just try something like this, and then Kelsey just goes above and beyond. So much love to Kelsey. But anyways, everything's been releasing as a single instead of the part albums. Because of that, I'm able to get stuff to you much faster on these platforms, which is great. So make sure you are following GaMetal on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon. Those are the 3 I usually mention because they're the 3 that get brought up the most. But it's on other streaming stuff too, like Deezer. There's other stuff that like it gets brought up every once in a blue moon, but they're there too. Wherever Sounddrop distributes to, it's there. And for the songs that some of you are wondering, why is this song not on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon? When is it going to be? Please check out question 2 on my site's FAQ. I'm going to put that in the description too, but I'll go over it really quick. Should just be johnnyatma.com/FAQ. Okay. But yeah, if you're wondering why a certain song isn't on Spotify or Apple or streaming services yet, it's a licensing issue. I can't get everything licensed. Reason being, because you have to pay for the stuff on Apple Music. For Spotify, you got to pay for a subscription. And because of that, I had to get mechanical licenses for everything. That way, the original composers get their share of the profits. Excuse me. Get their share of the profits. Because of that, I can't get everything licensed unless it's been released in the US in an official way. And it can't just be in a game. It has to be like an actual soundtrack release, or be it physically or digitally. And if there's not, I can't do it. So, for example, probably the biggest example from this year is King Ollie. Paper Mario Origami King. There's no official US soundtrack release, so I can't get a license for it, so I can't get the King Ollie remix up. Unfortunately, big bummer. I think probably the Mario and Luigi stuff falls into that category too. There are a few exceptions if it's appeared on like a compilation album, like In the Final is I think on some compilation album that's been released here. But yeah, there's several examples. Sometimes we take bigger hits than I would like, but it's unfortunate, but it's a part of the thing. So if you're wondering why song isn't on streaming services, that's why. But you can find more information on question 2 on my FAQ, where I go into a little more detail than that. Okay. That's my salesman stuff. And that's it for the news portion. Again, I didn't really have a lot of crazy huge news for you. Just that the song Ballot is open. The next big piece of news will be the Project Peppermint reveal, which should be in a few months. But the song Ballot is open. I'll keep that on screen to let people who are just coming on the stream know. Song Ballot is live. Links in the description. Okay. One more drink. I can read chat now. Let me make sure I didn't miss any like super chats or anything. Zirconio with a 2500 CLP. Not entirely sure what CLP is, but thank you for it. Hi, I'm a big fan. I've been following you since 2018. Awesome. And I'd like you to say hello to me and my father, who is also a fan of metal. Well, Zirconio, hello to you and your father. I hope you all are doing well. Okay. Q&A time. Oh, and let me go ahead and say that you guys were talking about it before the stream started. If your question is, can I do this song? The answer is maybe. I can't, I can't confirm or deny any song requests. I usually don't deny any song requests ever, but I can't make any confirmations or anything like that when it comes to songs. Rubberman, thanks for the 5. October 21 this year will be the 30th anniversary of Wario's debut on Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins. Any plans to celebrate it? I don't have any plans right now, but I'll think about it. Danny Cookie, how many perlers have you received as gifts? Were any of them made sent for a specific video? What is a perler? Am I blanking out on something simple here? I'm gonna Google it. Like the bead things? I don't think so. Oh, and again, I also ought to say this at the top of our Q&A stuff. If I miss your question, I promise it's not because I hate you or anything like that. And I did put this on slow chat, but I only capped it at like 5 seconds just to help prevent like spam and such. But I will try to get as many, especially like unique questions as I can. Okay. The beads that make up the sprites. No, I haven't gotten any perlers. Perler bead sprite things. Yeah, you can if you want, Kelsey. Actually, I can post it if you'd like. I've been meaning to do that. I keep forgetting to post the album arts that haven't been made as singles. Thank you, Gel Van Dam. Hope I say your name right. There's a K there. I don't know if it's silent. Spaz, am I Canadian or American? I'm American. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. But I've been to several different states. Top 3 games you have planned to play through on your backlog. I still need to play through Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. I need to play the new Kirby. I haven't actually played it yet. And I don't know what the third would be. Caleb, saw your reply to my tweet from 2 weeks ago about my favorite remix of yours. Was it fun to make? Also, I appreciated and liked the reply. Yes, I'm sure it was fun to make. Everything I do is fun to make. And if it's not fun, I make it fun. But yes, and thank you for the kind words, Caleb. City Escape now with the 20. Thank you, City Escape. When is City Escape? If you go back in a time machine a couple of years, you might find it. How many dream songs I would like to play? So I always say that at this point in time, I've covered most of my favorite game songs. Well, I really have. I've covered most of my favorite game songs. Every now and then, one pops up in my head where I'm like, I need to cover that. And so I usually do it for my birthday. Or occasionally, I might just do it. Like the Red Wings from Final Fantasy II last year. I just kind of did that out of nowhere. Because I wanted to. But I've done most of the stuff that I've wanted to do at this point. Do I play other instruments other than guitars, keys, and drums? And do I have classical training? I do not have classical training. But for anyone who does, cool, good for that. That's great. Obviously, if anybody can get trained in any way, be it classically or you're an instructor, go for it. Do I play any other instruments? Yes, sort of. So the first instrument I ever played was a violin back in 5th grade. So I was a little kid and I was awful at it. That is a very, to this day, I will still say the violin is the most difficult instrument I've ever had the displeasure of trying to learn. And anyone who can play the violin beautifully is like just of the highest caliber skill, because that is a difficult instrument. So I wouldn't say I can play the violin. However, when I went to band in 6th grade, and I was in band up until 10th grade. And if you're not from the States, 6th grade, year 6 through year 10, whatever you call it, where you live, I played tuba and trombone. So those I have a degree of skill at. Like, I'm not going to say I'm the greatest trombone or tuba player of all time, but I can hold my own. Especially on tuba. I played tuba a lot more than trombone. Why Trap? The first. Sooner than you may think. You ever think about the fact many people started playing an instrument because of you? Guitar for myself. What's it feel like knowing that? It's an honor, GaMetal man. It's an honor, and it is very flattering. I've had several people say that I've inspired them to pick up an instrument and start learning, and that is just the highest form of flattery, knowing that I can inspire someone to do something like that. That is really cool. So, thank you for the kind words. That I hope you have fun. Who matters the most? Some of the hardest songs you've had to quote unquote translate into metal. God of Things, also known as Boardman. Thank you for the 5. So the hardest stuff is the stuff that isn't like, that is so far removed from metal. The first thing that always comes to mind is Pepper Steak. Pepper Steak is a weird song, and I'm glad it has been doing so well. It's actually been doing like really well on streaming services for whatever reason. I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna appreciate it. So stuff like that. Probably the hardest from this year. Actually, ironically, coincidentally, it might have been Big Shot. Big Shot is a really weird song and had a lot going on. Like, if a song has a lot going on, like a lot of different parts, that can be another thing that makes it difficult. Plus, Big Shot had like the vocals and the what did I call it? The debatably distinguishable vocal part. That can be kind of weird to put together, but yeah, that's the hardest stuff. Pepper Steak is in there, is in the top. There's probably 2 or 3 others that are in that top 3 that don't immediately come to mind, but that's the first one I always think of. Edgar, would I do a cover from a fan game, or do I only stick to official games? I would consider doing a song from a fan game if it were requested enough, so it's not off the table. Or if I hear one and I just like fall in love with it. Do you not see the ballot in the description? It should be at the top. Let me see. Let me see if I can figure out something. Is anybody else seeing it in the description? You might have to refresh. Oh, you guys, people are saying you have to refresh. So if you refresh the page, it should show up. I have heard it, Energy. I've heard it. That song actually had a lot of votes last year. The Binding of Isaac one you just mentioned. Yashiro, thank you for the 5. What new non-VGM music have you been really digging lately? Doesn't have to necessarily be music from newer artists. You know, it's been a minute since I've listened to like entirely new stuff, to be honest with you, Yashiro. So, man, these days I'm usually just listening to stuff that I've been familiar with since I was younger, or game music. I can't give you a great answer on that, to be honest with you. I'm a bad fan. I'm a bad fan of the bands I like. Hardest song you've had to do for bass? Wasn't there one from this year? Let me see. Let me see what I've done this year and let you know if anything hard. I feel like there's something that was kind of a pain. King always kind of complicated on bass. A lot going on there. Gladion. Is it Gladion? Gladion? I don't know how to say his name. I'm not familiar with Sun and Moon Generation. That's a pretty tough one, too. Arturo. What is my favorite game? Final Fantasy VI. It's always been my number one. And always will be for the foreseeable future. La Bianchi. Thank you for the 20. Have I listened to Gigantic Power? I have not. But thank you for the super chat. Jack Harvey, how do you do the green screen effect that makes it look like you're in the game? It's super impressive how good it looks like on the Paper Mario one. So, here, I'll show you. I'll sort of show you. So, I put a very big, I mean, I have this green screen attached to my chair as well, but like, behind me, ruining the illusion. Behind me, I have a big, huge green screen that takes up most of my wall. And I actually got two of them. I got the one that's here in my main room, and I have the one that's in my drum room, which is very small. Hopefully when we move into our new place, I have a little more space. I know it's not real. Yeah, I got the chair one for streams. Anyway, so, you know, I've always had like good lighting, a good lighting set. I actually have two of them now. But you know, if you light your green screen well, and I work with what I have, we're not exactly in like the biggest house. I don't exactly have the biggest rooms to work with. It looks best on the guitar and bass shot because I have a lot more room in here. The drum room is really squeezed and cramped, so I got that looking as best as I could. And then it's really a matter of having your keyer settings right in whatever editing program you're using. And I feel like adding the drop shadow helps a lot too, to kind of combines the footage of me with the background footage and makes it kind of look like I'm there. Obviously, I'm not there because it's a game and like polygons and sometimes sprites, but you know, it's a little more immersive, I think is what I should say. Energy Search. Have I ever gotten a hand injury from doing your music? No. I haven't. Sometimes I get hand cramps, especially if I play acoustic for a long time. I get hand cramps. But no, not really. I'm sure when I get older, I'll probably get arthritis or something. Danger, have I ever considered remixing Friday Night Funkin'? I always want to say Five Nights at Freddy's. Friday Night Funkin' stuff. Of course, I've considered it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Payno Man, favorite Mario Kart song. Rainbow Road 64 is a classic. First one that comes to mind, but I'm also a fan of like Waluigi Pinball. Really awesome. Most of the 64 soundtrack, and it's mainly favoritism at that point because that's the Mario Kart I've played the most of. I would end, but I'm like halfway through the game now. I have to start over. I am going to get back to streaming on Twitch soon. I promise. Soon. Probably not this month or maybe not even next month. But maybe after we get moved out. I'll start considering it. It's been so hard with all the stuff I have going on. And you all are going to see very soon what all I've been working on. If I were to ever cover another Terraria theme, I don't know. There's like a couple that were popular on the ballot last year, but I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Excuse me. But they're there. I look like a tattooed fighter in your videos, but in live your stream, you're a total Nintendo player, right? Kangax. Ronald. Are you going to shill for your Discord server? Or am I going to serve for my Discord? Actually, I forgot to advertise it. There's a GaMetal Discord if you want to join. Link is it should be in the description. I feel like it is. It is. Okay. Join our Discord. Great community. We have fun. My Dancing Man cover is so good it made you play Final Fantasy VI. Isn't it such a great game, Ian? It's a great game. If you haven't played Final Fantasy VI and you like old JRPGs, you need to play it. Rubberman, will I visit the GaMetal subreddit more often? I need to. I keep forgetting it's a thing. And then like I see like a post after I have forgotten about it for like 5 months. Majora, hope you had a good day so far. Since I covered Big Shot from Fatal Fury, would I cover another song from King of Fighters Fatal Fury again? Yeah, I'm sure I will. I think Soy Sauce for Geese is the most requested Fatal Fury song at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to that one day. Put it in the ballot. I'm glad it did, Brightest Day. I'm glad it did. Wonder what more popular cover is the Dancing Mad one. I'm glad it went over well with my wannabe opera singing. Christopher Bigley, if I could play with any band on any video game cover of your choice, alive or passed on, who would it be? I would like to do like a Dream Theater. I would like to join either Dream Theater or Symphony X for, we could remake Dancing Mad together. That would be incredible. Thanks, Shrek. Shrek in a new shell. Big fan of my content. Do you plan on remaking remixes based on old video games or newer titles? Both. Always both. I'm old, so I like covering old stuff. A lot of our audience is younger, and so they prefer the new stuff. So it's always a mix of both. Is my OC a boy or a girl? The GaMetal Bard is a boy. In his depicted form. Arturo, I am about to turn 35. So, the oldest console I've had was an Atari 2600. 5 more years and I'll really be old. Right? That's when you're on YouTube being 40 and like, oh, wow, this old man. Dupree draws. What Kirby game has the best soundtrack? My favorite has always been Kirby Superstar. You could take it up a notch and throw in Kirby Superstar Ultra because it has everything from Superstar plus more, like Galactic Knight and stuff like that. So that's my favorite personally. It's probably my favorite Kirby game too. That's my favorite Kirby soundtrack. I have not... People talk about Robobot a lot. It's a game I need to play. I haven't actually played it yet. I've heard most of the soundtrack, which is really good. I need to play it. Oh, thank you, Arturo. I try to get sun when I start looking too light. I think I need some now. Danny from Gang Grumps, there were 4. Yeah, I know. I'm not a... 35 is not old. I like to rag on myself. Thank you for the 2, Alundra. Rooms of the Guardian God for a cover. I'll listen to it when I can. Happy Friday to you too as well, Studier. Hope I say your name correctly. Early happy birthday to you, Kyra. And a Fatal Fury or Garo MOTW covers may come eventually. I just touched on Fatal Fury and said maybe eventually. I don't know if soon. I can't confirm anything. Put it in the ballot. The ballot is live. Danger, do you think there will ever be a time that you will tell us more about your universe in your head? I'm assuming you mean the GaMetal universe with our friendly GaMetal Bard. Yes, absolutely. Eventually there's going to be a game. Hopefully. We'll see. That's my ultimate plan. Pano, how long does mixing and Q stuff take for the average cover? It kind of helps that I have a lot of stuff already kind of pre-made, preset, I guess is the word I need to use, like the guitars and stuff. And so I could kind of just tweak what's already been done. Oh, excuse me. Once I have everything tracked, mixing doesn't, it depends on the complexity of the song. Like if you have like a really complicated, really complicated long song like King Ollie or Star Dream or something like that, it could take me all day. It could take me several hours. If there's something a lot more simple, F-Zero stuff tends to be simple to mix because there's usually just guitar and maybe some organ and maybe a few sound effects thrown in. But like that might just take me like 1 to 3 hours. So it varies depending on the complexity, but so I'd say anywhere from 1 for the most simple of simple, but that's not always the case. It's not common. So I'd say anywhere from 2 to 4 hours for like an average song, I guess. Miram Kastrat. Again, I hope I say your name correctly. If I'm not, feel free to correct me and I'll say it right. Love Recovers. When are you going to look into Crosscode? Really good game. Best one is the One Last Trial. Voted at last ballot. Forgot what year. I've been seeing requests for that. I need to check it out. So, yeah, it's on the table. It's on the table. Caleb Ozulax, thank you again for the 5. Seen a lot of Open Your Heart remixes, but not one from you. Could you cover that one at some point? It could happen. It could happen. We'll see. Like I said, I hate to give you guys such a generic response to specific requests, but it's so hard for me to confirm anything that isn't already on the to-do list. And then I don't want to spoil anything, so... Rubberman, thanks for the 2. Bring back the fedora. It's in the closet. I lost the feather. I lost my blue feather. It, like, came off. I thought about wearing it for GoldenEye, but, yeah, I couldn't find my feather, and, like, it just wouldn't have been the same. Of course, Miram. Get an even bigger one. I can't find a bigger one. And then I'm not tall, so I look kind of goofy in a huge hat. Have I seen the Ugly Sonic Return meme yet? Yeah, I've seen it. I need to watch that Chip and Dale's movie. I wasn't too interested in at first, but the last few things that have dropped for it have made it look a lot more intriguing. Studio, what type of metal genres do I listen to? I listen to mostly old stuff, to be honest with you, when it comes to metal. Like, I don't really listen to, like, the super heavy death metal, black metal stuff anymore. I did when I was younger. You know, I still appreciate a good black metal jam every now and then, but, I mostly listen to, like, older thrash, stuff like old Ozzy and, a little bit of Megadeth here and there. Metalcore, one of my favorite albums of all time is, Waking the Fallen from Avenged Sevenfold. So there's that. Prog metal, mostly Dream Theater and Symphony X, especially Symphony X. I really love Symphony X. Do I like Tool? Yeah, everybody likes Tool, right? Do I listen to EDM? Not really. I mean, I listen to all the stuff my wife listens to as well, so. And she listens to, like, everything. So because of her, like, my palette is greatly expanded. Some Vienna guy, how old was I when I learned your first instrument? It depends on what you mean by learn. Because I feel like growing up in our house, we always had, like, a keyboard. And I would kind of pick at it. One of the first things I learned, or I taught myself on keyboard, was the Zelda Overworld theme. So, but, you know, that's just kind of like being a kid and kind of messing around with stuff. Violin in 5th grade, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, is probably the first thing I learned. But like I said, I never really got great at that. And then being in band in 6th grade, learning tuba. That was probably like the first thing I truly, officially learned was the tuba. No one has recognized me in public yet, Edgar. No one yet. I don't mind. I'm not that narcissistic to the point where that would disappoint me. No one's recognized me yet, but I also live like kind of I live adjacent to Nashville, so I'm not in Cali or the Northeast or New York or where everybody everybody else seems to be from. I will be recognized once I hit 1 million, probably. Will I ever do a meet and greet? One day, CVKA. One day. One day. Issue of figuring out where to do such a thing. How do I feel about the prospect of making the to-do list a public affair and letting people see what's coming specifically? No plans at the moment, Henson. No plans for that at the moment. I like to keep it Patreon specific for the time being. I like things to be a surprise. You know, you get the end card silhouettes. I like to surprise people. Oh, Oscar. My favorite game OST, Mr. Borealis. Final Fantasy VI. Favorite game soundtrack. My top 3 is probably Final Fantasy VI. I mean, I guess you could say Smash Bros. Ultimate, but that doesn't really count. There's like 1 million songs. Final Fantasy VI is always my number 1. And then Super Mario RPG. And then maybe Kirby Superstar. Probably my top 3. You like being wrong about the end cards, Majora? I like to see people get the hard to guess end card teasers. That makes me excited, especially for like the obscure songs, because I'm like, okay, somebody knows. At least somebody out there knows this one. Manuel Rodriguez, favorite composer, Uematsu, Final Fantasy. So, easy answer. Mention that I'm not tall. Any tips for other short bros like me on wider guitar necks or selecting a new guitar? So, being a short guy, I'm like probably like a solid 5'6". Guitar size has never really been an issue for me. Especially with width. You know, I only play 6 strings. I don't have any 7 or 8 strings. So yeah, and my hands are like in between medium and large. I don't have like huge hands, but I don't have like tiny hands either. That's never really been an issue for me. I will say, like, don't stress it too much, because again, I don't, like I said, I have like in between medium and large hands. And I've never really had a problem with the huge stretches, even like learning stuff from people that have freakishly long fingers, like Paul Gilbert, whose pinky is like this times 2. What was the other thing you said? Or selecting a new guitar. I will say that the Jackson I have is a dinky, which is I think like 7/8 of the size of your usual Strat. You know, the Jackson guitar, the Bootar as we call it, is a dinky, and like I said, it's like slightly smaller than the normal size Fender Strat. Now the Dark Bootar, as we call it, which has a Strat body and a Warmoth neck. That one's normal Strat size, and like I can't even tell, to be honest with you. But I guess if you're really wanting to get a smaller guitar, I would recommend the 7/8 size that the dinky is, the Jackson dinky. And you know the Atma weapon guitar, the Ibanez RG770. I don't know if that's a downsized Strat or not, but like I said, I've never noticed like a huge difference. There's also short scale necks, but yeah, I have guitars of all sizes. I've never really had an issue with being a not tall, a vertically challenged man and guitar size. Greetings from Mexico. Love your covers. Been hearing them from years. Thank you, Fernando. Shout out to our shout out to mi amigos in Chile. I know we have a significant fan base there. Like if I look at the where our audience comes from, obviously the US has the biggest portion, but then like right below it is a Chile, which is really cool. And I see a lot of people leave comments saying they're from Chile, so not Chile. You know, if you grow up in the South, you hear Chile and like like I did. Show us your Waddle D. I don't know where my big one is, but I have these guys here today. He's starting to lose. He's got like a little beard going on. He's starting to lose his paint. And Sailor D's got a big scratch on him too. But they're here. They're always here watching me. Us. And of course our good friend Bowser, who is keying out because of the green screen. He's here as well. They're working behind the scenes to make sure the stream goes well. Yeah, occasional Japanese comments as well. It's always really cool to see people across the world embracing not just GaMetal, but video game music. Have I ever heard of Dean Longest Solo Ever DeMarzo? Yes. Yes. He does a lot of Friday Night Funkin' stuff, right? Yeah, he's really cool. Good covers. Have you ever considered doing some of the Final Fantasy Brave Exvius series since you're big? You know what? I don't think I've heard anything from Brave Exvius, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm probably saying it wrong. I will say a lot of those, because that's a mobile game, right? If it's not, my bad. A lot of the Final Fantasy mobile games, like, go hard on the remixes. It's crazy. Especially Record Keeper has some really good remakes. Mario Maniac, are there any plans for the handful of missing 2019-2017 songs going on stores that should almost certainly be licensable now, like Falling Down, Trap Phantasm, Romancing Saga, and Ultimate Show? Yeah, I need to look into that, actually. What did Ultimate Show... What has Ultimate Show been on? That's licensable. That one's really important. I didn't know that's licensable. Yeah, that's something I gotta look into. I've just been busy. Azure Star, thanks for the 20. My man, keep up the great work. Big fan of your work. So much so, I have a playlist to listen to while I'm at work. Got high hopes to hear something from Tales of Symphonia in the future. Thank you, Azure, for the kind words. Tales of Symphonia, always on the table. Tales of. How many Tales songs have we done now? 1 or 2? I can't always forget everything we've done. I know we did the one that was on SideQuest recently, which is one of my favorite from that album. But yeah, I've been seeing more and more Tales requests. So, Rubberman, if I ever cover War of DDD, will I get a DDD puppet? Is there a DDD puppet? Because there's fixing my audio real quick. There's like a bunch of Mario puppets. Fury Sparks. I forgot the name. I forget the name of everything. There's too many GaMetal songs. Yeah, I do sometimes, Q-Metal, man. Very talented folks. A lot of you. Smoker D, what is your suggestion to lazy people like me who don't practice enough and end up not being the best musician they could be? So, don't be too down on yourself. Even I go through bouts where I need to practice more than I do. But like, just try to, the thing that always gets me back into it for me is learning new stuff. Like actually sitting down. I'm not just talking about learning, a song for a cover, because like, for me that's fun, but like it also in a way it's kind of work too. So, just learning something for fun that you like, something brand new, that usually helps spark things for me. Kind of gets me back into the groove of, practicing and learning and stuff like that. Zachary, thanks for the 5. I've been wondering, because it only pops up here and there, what criteria has to be met for that sick red V-neck guitar to make an appearance? So all my guitars are set up for different tunings. So the red V-neck, which was previously retired, actually just brought it back out specifically for specific tunings, and that is the Butar, and we call it the Jackson DK2H, and the Ibanez RG770 DX, which is the Atma weapon guitar. Those are both tuned to standard. The Dark Butar, as we call it, the Franken Strat, that one's also tuned to standard. The difference between the Dark Butar and the Atma weapon and normal guitar is that it's a Strat, and it only has the 3 Strat pickups, and so it has a very different tone from all my other guitars. So the Jackson RR3, the Randy Rhoads 3 that you're talking about, is tuned to D standard, DGC FAD. Or I might drop it to drop C, so CGC FAD. It's set up that way. When you have a Floyd Rhodes bridge, retuning it is just a giant hassle. So I've been collecting guitars since I started playing. So for almost been 20 years now. I've been collecting guitars over the past 20 years. I only just recently, when I did Gusty Garden Galaxy, was that 2 years ago? Like that was the first time I actually splurged on a guitar. It's been years since I've been doing this, and I was like, let me splurge on a guitar for once. And so that's my first like higher end guitar. The RG7070 DX is kind of like mid tier when it comes to how good stuff is. But anyways, so the criteria for me to bring out the Jackson Randy Rhoads 3 is for a song to be in D standard or drop C tuning. The Vendetta guitar I have in flat standard, which is standard tuning, but all the notes are flat. So E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. It's hard to say that off the top of your head rather than just EAD, GBE. So that's the criteria for that one. And for the blue Vendetta guitar, the one you might see me use mostly in older videos, but sometimes I break it back out. That's either flat standard or drop C sharp or drop D flat, which is D sharp, all the other stuff. And then there's also the very rarely used BC Rich Mockingbird, which I have in B, drop B. It's my fake 7-string. It's not actually 7 strings, it's 6. But it's tuned like one. And I just use it for rhythms occasionally. It's only been like Hope Never Dies, 1,000 Year Door Bowser song, the rhythm section of Metamorphosis, and Tolly from Mass Effect. Did I forget a guitar? No. No, I ruined the illusion again by going like that, didn't I? Anthony John, what would I say to someone who wants to play guitar at some point? So, you don't have to get like anything super duper expensive. You can get like a decent starter guitar. These days, back when I first started playing, you could get a decent starter for like $200. You probably still can. But it's probably more like $300 nowadays. It's been a while since I've looked. If you can get an instructor, I always tell people, if you can get an instructor or someone to teach you, do it. It's always worth the money. If you can take a class, worth it. If you can't, there are so many resources on YouTube now where you can learn an instrument. So many great channels out there that can teach you easy lessons and stuff. Obviously, YouTube is still the wild, wild west. There's going to be some stuff that's going to be just okay or not great, but there a lot of the more popular channels that are teaching do a fantastic job. So you can do that. And like I kind of said earlier, when you're learning stuff, learn stuff that you like and you want to learn, but don't go crazy. Like if you're a huge fan of Dream Theater and you want to learn how to play guitar, don't buy a guitar. Do not buy a guitar and immediately start trying to learn your favorite Dream Theater songs, because unless you were like just this natural prodigy, which unfortunately most of us are not, myself included. Unless you're just this crazy prodigy, you're going to have a really hard time. And you don't want it to be difficult at first because you want to have fun, right? I mean, obviously you want some difficulty when you're learning, but you don't want things to feel impossible either. So try to find stuff that is more simple. When I first started learning guitar, I've always been a big fan of The Offspring. And like most of the first songs I learned came from The Offspring's Smash album, which is quite frankly, just really easy power chord stuff. Like, very good for beginner level stuff. But, you know, I dig all the songs, had fun learning all of them. So, find something that sounds kind of easy, stick with that at first, and work your way up to the hard stuff when you first start learning. And really, this can apply to any instrument, not just guitar. So, and good luck. Good luck and have fun. Chris O'Hara. This has been on my mind for a bit. In the Big Shot Deltarune remix, it sounded like there was a Mega Man X guitar in the background at one point. If that was intentional, how did you do that? Was there? I'm going to play it in the background. Because I don't remember. I don't remember doing that. What's the time? Give me a timestamp, Chris. And I'll tell you what that was specifically. Where is it? I feel like I put it on this playlist. Yeah. Were there any songs I covered that made me think, ow? Big Shot was kind of, it's not hard to play, but it was really hard to put together. I don't think anything this year has been like absurdly challenging for me, and I'm not trying to like brag. Excuse me. Because after you do this for 20 years, it gets a little easier. King Ollie was a lot to put together. There's a lot going on. Usually these days when I'm having trouble with a song, it's because the drums are hard. Because I went too ham on the drums, and then when I go back to re-record the video, like I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Yeah, I put Big Shot on purpose. I wanted to hear the Mega Man guitar he's talking about. Is it the orchestra hit you're talking about? Because I actually do think I did blend the Mega Man orchestra hit with a normal orchestra hit. I think I did that. I might not have, but it kind of sounds like it. Maximum Guinness, thanks for the 10. Hi, Johnny. Been a fan since your Lightning Battle cover. What's your favorite RPGs that I've played in the last 10 or 15 years? Undertale, for sure. I just started Deltarune last month, but then I got super busy. I need to get back on it. I haven't really... have I played any other RPG since then? In the last few years? Last 10 or 15? I'll be honest. Like, I need to play more RPGs than I have. That's the first one that came to mind. Obviously, Undertale is S+ tier game. If you haven't played Undertale, if you've stayed away from Undertale because of all the hype, it is worthy of all the hype it got, and it's still getting to this day. Man, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. If I can think of something, I'll tell you. Chris O'Hara, 129 is where you heard it. Okay, let me see. Oh man, there's a lot going on in this section. I actually don't think I have a Mega Man guitar sound font going here. Trying to listen. Yeah, I think I just had some typical leads there. It might sound kind of Mega Man-ish. Like I said, if there's anything Mega Man X sound font that I use for Big Shot, it's the orchestra hit. But it's not entirely Mega Man X orchestra hit. It's like, I think it's a blend from what I remember. I don't know a lot about guitars. What kind of guitar can scream? Maverick Hunter ZX. Any guitar can scream. Maybe not an acoustic. But any electric guitar running through distortion should be capable. It's just a matter of... if you do a unison bend, it's going to sound screamy. You know, I like those. I know, John. How do I not know? I just don't remember. And listening to it, like I said, there's a lot that goes into a cover. It's not just like one or two instruments behind, or one or two synths behind. Like, especially that specific section, I remember in Big Shot. And you can't even hear all of it. It's just kind of like background fluff. But like There's like choir, there's like a string synth, there's like a string lead that's going on soft back there. So there's a lot going on. Hey, Nintendo, what's up, man? I had a lot of fun with the Snowflakes cover. If you guys haven't heard me and Studio Nintendo's collaboration on his channel, go check it out as soon as you can. Really awesome. The Snowflakes from Persona 4 Golden, right? That was a very fun collaboration, Nick. I'm glad you enjoyed the winter background. It was like, because I was listening to the song and I was watching like a Persona 4 video, just to kind of get my mindset right. And I was like, it'd be really cool if I put the snow background with the snow effect and dressed in my winter attire. I'm glad you dug it. It was fun too. I was really happy with that solo I came up with too. That was actually a good one. Not to toot my own horn. Of course, you did a outstanding job on vocals as well. It's very Killswitch Engage sounding. The background. I loved it. But yeah, the Snowflakes collab released in mid-May with 90 degrees hot as heck weather. We were trying to cool you down. What we're trying to do. Manuel Rodriguez. What genre would I like to experiment on with my songs? A lot of the stuff I do is kind of fusion sounding, because I mix in so many different instruments and from synths and software. I don't know really. I just try to kind of keep a metal edge with everything I do. do. Challenge for me: writing lyrics in Portuguese and singing in Portuguese. Oh no, yeah. Not because I don't want to, because I would butcher it. People would make fun of me. I don't want to make a mockery. Watch me fly, mama. Is a new Celeste song possible? Maybe. Not on the ballot. I think the one that gets requested the most nowadays is whatever that last song is. That's kind of like a medley of everything. Got what the name of it is off the top of my head. Opinion on Minecraft. I think Minecraft is cool. I've never played it personally. I remember when I was living with my roommate Nolan when Minecraft first became like a thing, back in its alpha stages. He was really into it. And, it looks cool. It looks like something I would actually enjoy, to be honest. But I never actually picked it up. Death Battle question? I didn't see it. Do I still watch Death Battle? It's been a while since I've watched one. I remember years ago you mentioned you liked the show and you did a collab with Brandon Yates on the score for Lobo versus Ghost Rider. It's been a while since I've seen one, to be completely honest, but I've always been a big fan. Death Battle's always been really cool. They started, and this is like in no way slamming them in any form, but like they started doing a lot of stuff I wasn't really familiar with. I guess my age is catching up to me when it comes to YouTube content. But and so for that reason, like I kind of dropped off a little. Cheers from Italy. Andrea. Cheers. Cheers back at you. Hey guys, have I written any songs myself? Yes, I have. Have I released any? No. I mean, I did back in like the 2000s, back when I sucked. But other than that, no. But one of these days, I'll get around to original stuff. One of these days. I'm so engrossed with GaMetal nowadays and enjoying it, that originals has been sidelined. Happily. Like, I'm not like, oh god, I want to get back to my original so bad, or anything like that. Edgy dude, have gotten any inspiration from some famous metal bands by any chance? Yeah, absolutely. Some stuff, it's kind of funny that a lot of people brought up the Black Mages with the Hyrule Temple cover, because when I originally put that arrangement together, it was heavily inspired by the Black Mages and the way they arrange their songs. And I still to that day kind of follow that formula. Maybe not as hard, but for the most part. Nowadays I just kind of do my own thing. Sometimes I might like take some inspiration from, or like, I want this one to sound kind of Dream Theater-ish or kind of Symphony X-ish or whatever like that. I usually kind of stick with the prog metal stuff. But, obviously my stuff isn't always 10 minutes long with changing every 30 seconds to something completely different. Do I pick out random songs from the request ballots that aren't popular just because you think they're interesting requests? Sometimes, Ronald. Sometimes. I want to do that more than I usually do this year. So if you submit a song to the ballot, I don't want you to think that your song that's only going to get one vote is in vain. Because, like I said, normally we get 3,000 plus ballot entries. Shout out to Revolver, who helped me go through them last year. I don't know if he's here or not. Shout out to him. He helped me come through it and counted them all up, which helped a great deal. But I just skimmed through it, especially with the section I leave, where I say, why do you want to hear a particular remix of this song? I read many of those as I can after I count up everything. Whenever I get some free time, I look at it. Is it hard to practice both guitar, bass, and then drums too? Yeah, yes. I will say, like, usually I don't get to practice everything as much as I'd like to. Usually something gets sidetracked. Like, I don't practice, like, if I'm being real, I don't practice keyboards, like, at all. At all. It's just that playing keyboards for recording purposes for years and years and years, I've accumulated some skill from that. Drums, I go through phases where I practice some and then like I don't practice some. Guitar, same deal. Like it's kind of on and off when it comes to practicing specifically. Each instrument, well, guitar and drums really, kind of go back and forth between the two. Brace. What's good, Johnny? I've been working in music and I'm working on the full soundtrack for a video game. Awesome, congratulations. What instruments would you recommend for a medical Viking theme? Medical Viking, like a Viking that that is a doctor or nurse. is that what we're talking about? So for Viking metal, you're usually going to want to go with the Viking instruments. Like the Dragon Roost Island cover is kind of Viking metal-ish. So if you can throw in some, let me put this on in the background real quick if I have it. I bet I don't have it. Oh, I do. Okay. Flute. Bagpipe. Some brass here and there. If you can get like a ukulele type thing going. Oh, accordion. I'm just skimming through my Dragon Roost remix real quick. Because I took heavy Viking metal influence from this. If you can do the kind of bouncy timing, whatever it's called, I forget off the top of my head. I'm not a super musical terminology inclined. Yeah, kind of like the ukulele, flute, accordion, that kind of stuff. Kind of has like gives it a Viking tone, and then kind of the jumpy. Swing timing kind of thing deal. That's what I'd recommend. Medieval, okay. Medieval, yeah. You said medical, obviously a typo, and I just thought like a nurse or doctor Viking. I was like, well, I guess then you could throw in like the sounds of medical devices hitting a tray. Meryl, I should do this more often. It's really fun seeing you live talking about stuff. Yeah, like, man, I've just been so busy with stuff. I keep putting off the live stream and stuff like that. It's really my fault. Then like last year, I did the non-live stream last year, I believe, which was also good, especially for those wanting, because the chat is moving so quickly. I can only keep up with so many questions at once. In that non-live stream, I was able to answer pretty much everything that was asked. So, kind of the more relaxed version, but this is the more in the moment, up close and personal deal. Azure Star, Monster Hunter again, ever? Yeah, absolutely. Pro Gactif. Sorry if I said your name wrong. I tried. Do I live stream when I'm editing my videos? I don't. It's already enough pressure on me to edit stuff off stream. I couldn't imagine the mounting pressure, and that would be applied if I were to live stream it as well. I know a lot of guys do, and like that's cool, but it's a little easier for me. You have a favorite movie? I don't know if I have a favorite movie. My wife is the movie one. She is all about movies. I just kind of watch whatever she's watching. I think she's watching Terminator 2 right now, which is an A+ movie. My wife likes everything Kangax. Like, there's not a genre she doesn't like. Like, a lot of people say they like everything, but she's like the living embodiment of it. You're not too late, Star Blacks. A little bit, but not too. Probably go for another 10, 15 minutes or so. Thank you, Godzero. I try my best. I'm glad you... thank you for the kind words. Are you ready for a Live to Live? It's Live Alive, right? I still read it as Live Alive. Live Alive remake to demolish Xenoblade 3 and become your new favorite SNES RPG. I'm really excited to play it. Like, that's one I really want to play. It's one of those classic RPGs that people are always saying I would like. So that's going to be one I pick up and play soon after it comes out. Wolf Thunder. I know I use Patreon for requests for remixes. Would I consider doing commissions for original streamer music, like intro themes, intermission themes, and closing themes? Yes, but I will say it's something that... the wording I want to use here. It's not something I could do often, and so it's definitely a case-by-case basis. I think I mentioned this in my frequently asked questions page as well. So I take inquiries from people. I have to turn down a lot just because I have so much going on with GaMetal and other stuff. So it's not often, but yeah, I actually did do something for someone recently. I don't think they've used it just yet, but keep an eye on my Twitter and stuff, and you'll see. Something pretty cool. Plans to commemorate Sunbreak. I'm not familiar with Sunbreak, so no. But nothing's ever off the table. Take it easy, Timmy. When's Pikmin? Why is Pikmin? You have a favorite game genre? It changes, you know. I don't, you know, these days I want to say I have a favorite genre. I play like pretty much every genre. When I was younger, I played a lot of like SNES era RPGs, like Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger, and stuff like that. These days, I kind of just play whatever looks fun. I like roguelikes a lot. I had a blast with Hades, and what's the one I played before that? Oh, Dead Cells was really fun. I did that on stream a few times, and I actually started playing it off stream and like fell in love with it. Yeah, Hades is... If you like roguelikes, Hades is top tier. Dead Cells is as well. Dead Cells is like super fun. And it's different because it's like a platformer. Any chance of Hades remixes? I've considered it. It's not off the table. You know, its time has passed, but I don't care. You know, I don't care about that. I cover outdated stuff all the time. There's one song in particular I like, but I can't remember the name of it. How good is my down picking? It's good enough. Hello, Veritas of Galaxy. I said your name right. Good music is never outdated. That's right. Right, GaMetal. Take it easy, Y-Doc. Your to-do list has been lighting up, though. You think you could take more commissions and whatnot. Like, every time I get the to-do list knocked down, I get backed up with other stuff. So, like I can never confirm a time. That's why I always tell people it's case by case. Max Pops. I've done guitar work for official game soundtracks. I've done a few for T-Lopes. You can hear on Mighty Fight Federation and a couple others. As for like me doing like an entire song or anything like that, not yet, but I haven't really put myself out there as wanting to do such. Like I would like to someday, but you know, like I said, I've been so engrossed with GaMetal that it's my main thing and my main focus. So I haven't had time yet, but I'm sure I will one of these days. Talented or just hardworking? I mean, I guess a bit of both. You know, talent's not always natural. It comes from practice. So I'm a practicer. Take it easy, Miram. No problem, no problem. I'm glad I made your day. Wife is going to grad school for school psychology. Good stuff. Talent's augmented by hard work. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Veritas, you like the Four Fiends. I'm glad you liked it. One of my favorites that I've always wanted to do, and I never got around to it. It actually got pulled from a Patreon request list recently. That's why we ended up doing it. But I was really stoked to see when I got pulled too. Any Omori songs? There's what's that one everyone requests? World's End Valentine. Put it in the ballot. Put it in the ballot. It might get done. See, I've seen a lot of requests for it. I have a friend who got into metal and likes how down-picking sounds. Only time I've ever seen you do it. I do it all the time, I believe. What do you mean in particular? Oh, do you mean like sweet picking? Because sweet picking, I don't know. I just suck at it. If we're being real. Looks like everyone does it. Try to be a little different. Everyone does it because they're more talented than me. So I'm like, I'm gonna gear my practice to other stuff. I can do sweep picking. I just do it rarely. I feel like and again, it's no shade to anybody that does do a lot of sweep picking. Like I feel like in metal music these days, it's just used like all the time, and it's I don't know. I got kind of tired of hearing it personally. TFL, been listening to remakes since what feels like forever. Good. I hope you stick around forever more. Thank you for listening. Any soundtrack I've been listening to a lot in the past few weeks. I've been checking out the Kirby stuff because I know a lot of people are going to be requesting it. Other than that, not really. That comes to mind. I don't want to spoil anything either, so. My favorite non-6 Final Fantasy songs, give me a second to think. It probably come from Final Fantasy IV. Final Fantasy IV boss battle is one of them. From Final Fantasy VII, maybe the boss battle theme, which surprisingly I haven't done yet. Four Fiends would probably be up there. You know, I like One Winged Angel, but it's one of those songs that was just pushed in our face so much that I got kind of tired of it. Yeah, we'll go with that. Probably like Final Fantasy IV, Four Fiends. Oh, Big Bridge. Big Bridge, of course. I can't believe I forgot Big Bridge. Big Bridge for sure. There's others. Those are the first that came to mind. You know what, you all? I really have to go take a quick restroom break. So I am going to drop off for just a couple minutes. I'll be right back. I'm going to put the start stream up here, because I don't think I have a BRB screen ready. So, I'm going to come right back. We're having too much fun. I don't want to drop off just yet. Getting a lot of good questions today. So I'm going to be right back. Stick around. Like I said, I'm going to put the screen up. Obviously, we already started. But don't worry. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. I prepped for this stream with 3 water bottles, and I got through 2 of them. So I had to go. Yes, it is 1 song for the ballot entries. We take 1 per person, because we get so many that I want to hear. I want to know what your most wanted single song is. 1. Otherwise, there would be like 10,000 entries, and that would be a bit much to comb through. So make it count. Welcome, Nora. Don't worry. I wouldn't say I'm a shy person, but I'm a very introverted, quiet person. So I feel you. That means whenever I do these streams, like, it takes like all of my energy to do them. Not in a bad way, but you know. How much water do I go through a day, man? A lot. Like, if I had to separate it into bottles, I don't know, maybe like 6 to 10 bottles worth. It is your request. This song came from Kelsey's list, Team Plasma, and is actually one of the most popular songs from last year. So thank you for the request. Thank you, Food for the Soul. Thank you very much. Also, thank you, Zinteld, if that's how you say your name, or X-Zinteld. When you uploaded, this is a good question. Majora, when I uploaded Decisive Battle from Final Fantasy VI and Interstice of the Dimension, I had to emphasize Interstice because for the longest time, I said Interstice. And then I looked it up one day. I was like, what is this even a word? And I looked it up. It is a word. And it's pronounced Interstice. Interstice of the Dimension. Anyways, the question, when I uploaded Interstice of the Dimension and Final Fantasy VI Decisive Battle, I had a camera angle of the kick pedals, and that angle disappeared. Do I think it'll reappear? Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I mentioned earlier in the stream a few times that we're going to be moving into a different place soon. Part of the thing is I had to set up a whole nother camera for that, and like it's like laziness on my part. So there's that. Because like I'm really fond of the like. It's not really new anymore. The drum shot angle where I started doing it from the front and now it's moving. I'm really fond of how that looks, but the one thing it took away is the view of the kick drum. And sometimes it's cool to see. So I found a few places to squeeze it in, but I had to like set up a whole nother camera. The angle was weird. Now I have the green screen stuff going on. So maybe once I get situated in the next room I'm going to be in, I'll see if I can finagle a setup where it's easier to do something like that, because I know it is cool to show sometimes, but I've just been lazy to be honest. And you know, Interstice has that. Oh look, what just came on too, ironically, not Interstice but another La Molina song. Oh, I'm on the wrong playlist. Anyways. It has that part with the insanely fast double pedal, and I wanted to show that. To show off, I guess. I'll see what I can do. Zinteld is how it's pronounced. Okay, so I had it right the first time. I just remember our patron, X-Hog. I called him Zog at first, and then he said it's X-Hog, and then he put the dash in it. And I felt horrible for pronouncing it incorrectly. Thank you, Geodude. Thank you. Not to be wins the song guy, but Seymour was promised in the first Q&A stream in 2016 as Mario Maniac. When is that cover? Echo the Dolphin emote from the GaMetal Discord. One of these days. That is a song that's like on my the Seymour battle theme is like on my what should I call my list of songs I've always wanted to do, but they haven't been of super high priority. We'll call that the fake personal to-do list. That song has always been on my personal to-do list. So one of these days. Is there a song from an obscure game, i.e. a game that I know most people don't? I would love to do a remix for it. It says Wolf Thunder. I'm sure there is. Nothing comes to mind. Like I said, most of the time these days I've done everything I wanted to do. It would probably be from something old. Maybe the Treasure Master title theme. That's one. When making a cover, how do you decide which instruments to start with? Zinteld. So these days I always start with drums. When it comes to tracking the instruments, I always start with drum. Well, before that, I kind of get like a rough arrangement of how I want the song to be. Like I'll take the original track and I might cut it up into different pieces and move stuff around or double up a part, and then I'll drum to that. And after I do that, like I follow the same order every time. The order that I work with, that I've worked with for years now. I've tried everything. Like I've tried bass first, I've tried guitar first, I've tried drums first. I don't think I've ever done keyboards first. But I've tried guitar first, bass first, guitar and bass first, and drums first. And what I've been doing for years now that has worked best for me is drums first, and then rhythm guitars, bass, lead guitar, lead keyboard, all the extra keyboard synth stuff. That's the order I follow. That's just like that's what's most has been most comfortable for me. You know, somebody might prefer to start off with guitar first, and that's fine. You know, it's just whatever works for you. Thank you, Adam Cream, for the $4.99. Would I consider making a cover of Handsome Jack's theme from Borderlands 2? Possibly. I've never heard it. Just to be honest. But I'll have to check it out. That's a good one, Tank. That's a good obscure one these days. The Solstice title theme. That's a song. That's another one that's been on my eternal to-do list that I haven't gotten to yet. That's a good answer for that question that I just got asked about something obscure I'd like to do. Remember in 2015 when I missed the Earthbound and SNES medley? I said I'd make it up to Mother fans, and then I never did. Star Blacks. I'm waiting for the Mother 3 localization is what I'm waiting for. What Ballot? The 2022 song Ballot, GaMetal song Ballot, is now live. Ritas. It is in. The link is in the description. Let me know your most wanted song. Earthworm Jim has not been done. Take it easy, Edgar. Have fun at your brother's graduation. We're gonna be dead before that. I mean, I did remake Pokey Means Business. I mean, that kind of counts. No, I know we're lacking on Earthbound stuff. I know. I'm aware. I'm aware of the problem. Dr. Meeks, can I do CSGO theme for the next video? Well, I can't do it for the next video. Maybe one day. No problem, Veritas. Crash Bandicoot music, though. Well, we only have one Mega Mix. I mean, and the title theme and the PlayStation medley. Crash Bandicoot's a series. I know we need to get to something from there, so I'm aware. I think Neo Cortex is the most requested from the series. Breath of Fire is another one that gets brought up, especially from my fellow old SNES era RPG fans. I need to listen to more Breath of Fire stuff because I've never actually played it. I've heard a couple songs. I think I have an acoustic short, maybe 2 of Breath of Fire songs, but yeah. Maybe one day. Take it easy, Kangax. Thanks for the kind words, man. Or woman. Whatever you prefer. Gotta listen to more Super Nintendo Shin Megami Tensei music. I did really like the SMT2 battle theme. Like, I got really into that song when I started learning it. Besides being a musician, what games do I usually play? Whatever. Like I play whatever's fun. I don't have like a specific genre. This was asked earlier, but yeah, you're just joining us. So I don't really have a specific genre I stick to. Just whatever looks interesting. LML, have I thought about covering some Mega Man Battle Network music? We have what, 2 Battle Network songs, I think. So no, I'm thinking of Star Force. Star Force 1 and Surge of Power. So, yeah, we'll get to another one day. iPhone or Android? We're an iPhone family. So, sorry. Sorry if you're not a fan. I'm on a Mac too. Like, I've been sucked into the whole thing. The song makes you sad. Well, it is a sad song. Literally the name. Makes me sad too. Alright, folks. I think we'll go for another... Let's see, it's 3:47. If anybody else has any final questions you'd like me to answer, I think we've hit our slow down point. I need to get back to work on some of these May Madness songs. I hope you all have been enjoying May Madness, by the way. The next song of which will be dropping tomorrow, and it's a really good one. They're all really good. Great requests. Everything came from requests this year, both from the public vote and the Patreon vote. Any mobile game music caught my eye? Not really, Ronald. Nothing that comes to mind in particular. Maverick, I make the ballot results public on Patreon, but I don't make it like super public. Not yet, anyway. Whoever cosplays the GaMetal Bard. Well, he's cosplaying actually as me in the past. So back when I had hair and wore hats and long jackets. But you know, now I'm old and I don't have hair anymore. How's progress on the one after this? Like, you mean the song? Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer. I'll keep you updated. I know I had hair. Sick lore. Any games I've discovered through fan requests of covers? Yes, absolutely. A lot of them, if not most of them. You know, probably the biggest and obvious one is Undertale. Like, I didn't know anything about Undertale until people were requesting Megalovania back when it first came out. But there's like a lot of stuff that I didn't really get into or even heard of until people started requesting the song. Probably the most interesting of which is Revenge from Everhood. Like, that song is just so freaking good. Like, and all songs composed by the guy that composed that song on the Everhood soundtrack are like S tier. Everyone should know them, but Everhood just it never went completely mainstream. So they've kind of flown under the radar. That's probably the biggest example recently. I played that game because I'd never heard of the cover or the song before, and so when I heard it, I was like, this is a really good song, and it's still arguably one of the best new game songs I've heard in recent years. And Joseph, would I do Bug Fables again? Bug Fable stuff? I've done most of the stuff I wanted to do from Bug Fables. There's probably a song or two I might be interested in doing, but we'll see. Who's my favorite non-GaMetal cover artist on YouTube? I work with a lot of them, so I don't want to pick favorites. I don't want to pick favorites and then the others are like, oh, it's not me. Oh, that sucks. Everyone I've worked with is my favorite cover artist on YouTube. All of them. All of them equally. In all honesty, though, everyone I have worked with has been phenomenal. And just a blast to work with. Hatless reveal soon. Well, I keep moving the bar because we keep not reaching it for the Hatless reveal. What's our subscriber count? You know, I've made it a bit unrealistic in recent years. I can't lie to you. We're at 223 subs. If we can get to 250 before the year's end, that's the official bar this year. If we can hit 250K by the end of the year, I will do a hatless video. I actually have a picture on Patreon. If you like, if you dig way back to the early days, you can find it of bald me. Okay, Mario. I appreciate that. Thank you, Joe. Lucas, I answered this earlier, but I'll answer it for you again because it's real easy. Final Fantasy VI. You know I'll make it to 1 million, and we're trying, man. We've been trying for 1 million years, it feels like. I need to start covering Friday Night Funkin' stuff, and then like I'll just shoot up. And Deltarune Chapter 2. Just for like 5 straight months, and we'll be there in no time. No shade on the people that do that. I mean, go for it. Go for it. I understand. I understand completely. Or Kirby covers, you know. That's worked for me in the past. How many games have I played? What is my favorite and not so favorite? Oh, I played a ton. You know, my favorite games are always going to be Final Fantasy VI, Smash Bros, whatever the most recent iteration is. Yeah, I mean, Ultimate now. I was really big into Splatoon and Splatoon 2 when they were out. I haven't played Splatoon 2 in like forever now, but I was really into it at first. There is not a song list on the ballot. Just any song from a game, Edgar. Any song that originates from a game. Tell me what it is. Whichever one you want to hear the most. All right, everybody. I think we should about wrap it up now. It's been almost 2 hours, and my throat is starting to hurt. I don't talk for 2 straight hours all the time, so I'm not used to it. I am looking forward to Splatoon 3, Wolf. Absolutely. I'll probably get hooked on that too. All right, everybody. Just to recap the news from the top of the stream for those who missed it. Really quick. Really quick. Again, the 2022 GaMetal Song Ballot is now live. You're going to be seeing me advertise it quite a bit. Just to get as many people's votes in as possible. So expect like maybe even a weekly community post or something like that, or whenever I post about newly released streaming service songs, I'll probably remind everybody there. So, Song Ballot is now live. I have our little guy on the screen showing you. The next big project has been in the works for a while, and that is codenamed. Where's the song? Here it is. That is codenamed Project Peppermint, and hopefully I'll be able to have this wrapped up and at least revealed to you within the next few months, hopefully by July. So that's in the works. Keep your eyes out. I'll keep you updated. Probably the next update you'll hear is when it's near finished. So there's that. All songs being released as singles this year on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all of the streaming services when possible. If you're wondering why a certain song isn't on a streaming service, look up question 2 on my site's frequently asked questions page. The quick and easy answer is that there's no official US release, so I can't get it licensed. Become a GaMetal patron on Patreon. The best way to support me. Because without Patreon, I would not be able to do this for a living full time. So this is how we get things like months with 5 to 10 songs from May Madness or albums and everything. So the Patreon community is swell. We're always having a fun time and patron hangout and our Patreon streams and such. So if you want to if you want to support me in one of the most helpful ways possible, consider becoming a patron on Patreon, and you get rewards and stuff too. So it's not like you're just giving me money. I'm not giving you anything back. I'm giving you something. But read up on it. All the info is on the Patreon page there. Physicals. Dreamland Invasion. Again, this isn't really yellow. It's actually, or I mean, this isn't really like a black star with a black sunset. It's actually yellow, but green screen. Side Quest 2. Side Quest 3. GaMetal. Self-titled album. Dreamland Invasion. Physicals are now free shipping if you're in the US. Unfortunately, if you are international, I still have to charge you for shipping just because it costs a lot. On my end, it's like $9 Canadian, and for me anyways, it's $9 Canadian and anywhere from 13 to 15 abroad. But on the page, if you are from Canada, I think I lowered it to either 7 or 8 shipping Canada and 10 international. Straight $5 for the physicals themselves. So free shipping if you're in the States. That makes it cheaper for you in the States. You know, I apologize if you're international. The shipping cost is just crazy. If it could be lower, I would lower it, but I only cover shipping. And buy a shirt. The Dracula by GaMetal shirt collection. Links in the description of every video and here. We would appreciate it very much. Support not only myself, but our good friend Dracula Bite as well, who went the extra mile in making these awesome shirts for us. And look at my notes, and that's all I really have to quickly recap. Again, the song Ballot is live. Get that vote in. I'm going to make a community post as soon as we get off here just to tell everybody about it that couldn't make the stream. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you for hanging out with me and everybody in chat. Thank you for your questions. I hope I tried to answer as many unique questions as I could. Again, if your question was, can I do a song from whatever game, or can I do this song? The answer is always going to be maybe. It's hard for me to give a direct answer to that just because of what might be coming up. I don't want to spoil it. And then if I could do everybody's request, I would. But there's so many. I'm sure you understand. But yeah, get your requests on that ballot. Keep posting them in the comments. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, whatever time it is where you're at. And I will see you in our next video coming at you tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody.